Hi, Kelsey Carter here with Kitsap Family Learning Center, and I just wanted to drop a quick little teaching tool for you to be able to use. This is something that a lot of teachers utilize and is super simple, and I try to help parents understand how to use this because it's a really great aid when introducing a new skill to your child. So this isn't to be used for teaching new content, but when teaching a skill, particularly something in maybe math or science that requires certain steps, and remembering those steps and following those steps through completion. So this method is called the I do, we do, you do method, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So if you're teaching particularly maybe a math lesson, you would start out with demonstrating the skill to the student. So for example, if you're teaching multiple digit multiplication, right, I'm going to go nice and slow, and I'm going to demonstrate the process and my thoughts as I'm going through and showing the steps for that. So that would look something like this. First, we want to make sure that we have our place value lined up correctly, and I'm going to multiply this 4 by, in the ones column, 4 times 2 is 8. Then I'm going to multiply my 4 by the number in the tens column, which is 3. 4 times 3 is 12, and I have my number. Now, that's super simple, and I didn't want to take a really long time to show you. But now the next step would be to create another math problem. Say we were doing 68 times 7. And I would invite the student, I'd say, let's do this one together. What's the first thing that I pointed out that we want to remember? That's right, we want to have our place value lined up, our columns lined up nicely. And what's the first number that I'm going to multiply? The 7 by the 8. And you write out your answer and you would go on. You do this together so that they have a chance to be successful without having to feel like they're doing it completely on their own. You may find that you need to do this second step, this we do, or even the demonstration step, the first one, by yourself a few times, and that's okay. It's not about getting it done in just 3 steps, but it's about taking the lesson from here's a brand new concept all the way through to the higher level thinking of them being able to apply it themselves. And you might even ask them to do the same thing where they talk out loud and explain their process to you as they're doing it, so you can check for their understanding and whether or not they're going to be able to carry this on to other problems. Once they finally get to that third step where they're doing it independently, you might have them do a couple problems, with you next to them, kind of checking on them just to make sure they have it. And there's no reason you can't go back to that second step of doing it together as they need it. You might find with concepts that are particularly difficult for them to understand that you might need to review this in this method a few times before they're fully independent with that process, and that's okay. But it's a really simple and easy teaching tool that I wanted to make sure that parents had because it's something that you don't need a lot of training in it. It's really just as easy as I just demonstrated. So it's first, I do it. I'm going to show you, and I like to make sure that I am talking through the steps and sharing my thoughts and my sometimes even questions with the students as I go through it. I've done this for note-taking in history and all of that kind of stuff, annotating notes as well. Sharing my thoughts and my process as I go. Then we're going to do it together. We might do it together 2 or 3 times. This is part of the we do step. And then the final step is to get the student to be doing it independently on their own while you are checking their understanding and making sure that there are no gaps in their understanding and their learning. So I hope that's really helpful. And of course, if you or anybody you know is interested in homeschooling and you're looking for some guidance, I would love to be able to come alongside and join you in that journey. You can also reach out to one of the many learning centers of Academy Northwest across our state. You can find those at the Academy Northwest website. We even have a new learning center in Hawaii. So if you're looking for a little extra guidance in your homeschool journey, or maybe some accreditation for your high school students, or even elementary, we offer at K through 12. We'd love to be able to talk to you and help you along. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me a message and we'd be happy to help.